Hey guys, what's up? Dragon here. And in today's breeding guide video, I'll be showing you how to breed Hisuian Growlithe with these four things: the how to pass down the Pokeball, how to pass down the ability, how to pass down the nature, and how to pass down egg moves. So if you're just here to watch the breeding tutorial, or if you're here to, just find a tutorial on the internet and you want to follow through on how to breed for this Hisuian Pokemon, this is your video. So, just sit back, relax, and yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. I'll be explaining it this video the best I can, step by step, and as slow as possible, so that way you guys understand on how to breed Hisuian Growlithe. So let's get right into the video. Alright, we're gonna go right into it. So step number one of how to breed Hisuian Growlithe, you are going to want to get yourself a Hisuian Growlithe. So let's go into our boxes. Okay, let's open up our boxes. First things first, in order to obtain a Hisuian Growlithe, you are going to need Pokemon Legends Arceus, a copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Get into the story until you reach Cobalt Coastlands. From there, catch yourselves a Hisuian Growlithe in Cobalt Coastlands, then store it in your pasture, which is like the PC box in that game, and you're gonna need to transfer it over to Pokemon Home, and from Pokemon Home you're gonna need to transfer it over to your copy of Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. And now once you do that, now that you have your Hisuian Growlithe in your PC box in Scarlet or Violet, let's say if you already have a female, that's perfectly fine, but if you have a male, make sure you're gonna want to get a Ditto or a Growlithe. It'll work just as fine to breed it. Say for example, for me, I had a male Hisuian Growlithe and I needed a female, so all you had to do is put an Everstone on your Hisuian Growlithe, because if you do not put an Everstone on your Hisuian Pokemon, this also works for regional variants like Galarian Pokemon or Alolan Pokemon. Any regional variants, if you breed them without an Everstone, they will always be their opposite regional variants. Like for example, if you breed a Hisuian Growlithe without an Everstone, they will always come out as Cantonian Growlithes. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when breeding for regional variants. Always put an Everstone, no matter what. For example, Hisuian Growlithe, if you have a male, make sure you just keep breeding and breeding until you eventually get a female, which we have right here. Keep in mind, I'll put on the screen that Hisuian Growlithe has a 75% male ratio and a 25% female ratio. So it'll take you a couple eggs, and eventually you'll get yourselves a female version of Hisuian Growlithe. That's step number one. Alright, step number two, which is we're gonna pass down the ability and nature. Okay, those are two things that can be passed down quickly. Now keep in mind, I will be using Cantonian Growlithe in this breeding process and these other Pokemon, but we'll save those for step three. Step two, we will be using let's see, yeah, right now, if you do not have the nature you want, catch a Pokemon that is compatible to passing down egg moves. For example, you want to catch yourselves a Cantonian Growlithe with an adamant nature, which is pretty much the best nature you can give it, since I think Growlithe in general is like a physical attacker. Quote me if I'm wrong, but I prefer to have my Growlithe with an adamant nature. I already caught myself a Hisuian Growlithe in Legends Arceus with an adamant nature already. So let's say for example you do not have a Hisuian Growlithe with the right nature you want, like adamant, and it has a completely different nature. Just capture a other Cantonian Growlithe with that nature, like adamant or something. Breed these two down, and there's a 50-50 chance or a 60-40 chance that this Cantonian Growlithe will pass down its nature to the Hisuian Growlithe. But make sure you equip Everstone on both of them when you're breeding. That way the Cantonian Growlithe can pass down the nature over to the female. So yeah, keep that in mind. And keep in mind, let's say when you're breeding and your Hisuian Growlithe has a completely different nature, there is like a 60-40 chance, 60 being your Hisuian Growlithe will pass down its other nature other than adamant, and there's a 40% chance that that Hisuian Growlithe will inherit the adamant nature. So keep that in mind. All right, I hope that made sense. I hope I explained that good. All right, that was step number 2. Onwards to step number 3. We will be passing down the ability. So just like in step 2, this also works as the ability. Like I said, there is a 60-40 chance that my Cantonian Growlithe here has its hidden ability, and my Hisuian Growlithe, which its abilities are Flash Fire, and I forgot the other move. I forgot, because I think Hisuian Growlithe has 3 abilities, which is Flash Fire. I forgot the other one. But right now I'm trying to work on getting my Hisuian Growlithe with Rock Head, which is his hidden ability. So I'm gonna try and I mean, basically you just have to breed. Hold on. Basically you just have to breed these 2 down. Make sure your female version is holding an Everstone. So that way your Hisuian Growlithe will always hatch out as an egg, as in a Hisuian Growlithe. So keep that in mind. Otherwise they'll always come out Cantonian Growlithe if you do not put an Everstone on your Hisuian Growlithe. Again, keep in mind when breeding, make sure these 2 have the egg moves, so they are not the egg move. Make sure these have the Everstone, so that way the father can pass down its nature and ability to the Hisuian Growlithe, to its offspring, which when the eggs hatch, sometimes it's not always 100%. So that's why I said keep hatching eggs until you get until it passes down the hidden ability, because it works, but you just have to keep doing it and doing it. Just keep breeding these 2 until eventually you'll end up with the hidden ability, Rockhead on Hisuian Growlithe. Trust me, it will work. It just takes a couple attempts. Okay. Now the next step, I'm gonna show you how there are 2 ways on how to obtain egg moves on Hisuian Growlithe. I'll be showing you 2 ways. The first thing is I'll be showing you a temporary way, and then I'll be showing you a permanent way. Okay, so the first step is I'm gonna be showing you how to I think this is step number 4. Step number 4, how to pass down egg moves. I'm gonna be showing you a temporary way. Step number 1, get your female Hisuian Growlithe. Okay, I got my Hisuian Growlithe here. Now I'm gonna be using these Pokemon as an example, since they have the egg moves that I want to pass down onto my female Hisuian Growlithe. Sudowoodo is a perfect example to pass down Head Smash and Double Edge, which I'm gonna be using. Espeon for Morning Sun, which also has Double Edge. And I'll be using Cubchoo as well for Thrash. Keep in mind, the Pokemon that have the egg moves must be male. Keep that in mind. They must be male in order to pass down the egg moves. So I'm using Sudowoodo, Espeon, and Cubchoo, all male. Keep that in mind. They have the egg moves. Make sure they have the egg moves, okay? And then the next thing you need is a Mirror Herb. But before we do that, I will be showing you where to get this Mirror Herb, okay? So on your controller or your Switch controller, whatever you're using, Pro Controller or just regular handheld Switch controllers, you're gonna need to go fly over here, fly to the north side of where the water gym is. I'm not even gonna pronounce that name because I'm bad with names. Fly here to where the water gym is north. Fly here. All right, now that you're here, just follow my exact route and you are gonna eventually end up here at Delibird Presence. Go here. First two things, if you do not already have these items, go to General Goods. Scroll all the way down till you find the Everstone. Purchase 2 Everstones. If you want, purchase a couple. It's up to you. Purchase a few Everstones, which this is important for breeding. So get those. Next, you're going to want to go to Battle Items. Go to Battle Items, scroll all the way down again until you reach the Mirror Herb. Now, keep in mind, the Mirror Herbs are kind of expensive, so purchase 1 or 2 if you have the money. Purchase 1 or 2, it's completely up to you, but 1 is optional. Or 2 is optional, but always you're going to need one of these for the temporary way of breeding or passing down, you know, the egg moves temporarily. All right. Once you're done there, you purchased your Everstones and your Mirror Herbs. Fly back to wherever. It doesn't have to be where I'm going right now, which is Los Platos, but I use Los Platos for you know, since it has a, you know, it's just a flat surface with a bunch of, you know, I use this area always to when I'm breeding or hatching eggs. Which from here all the way over there, that's what I use to hatch my eggs and stuff and breed Pokemon, literally right here by this little pond. I like using this since there's hardly any Pokemon in the way to distract you from you know, hatching eggs and stuff like that. But it's up to you, completely optional to be here, but I just use this like I said. All right, now that you have your Everstones and your Mirror Herb, go to your bag and scroll all the way down to where your Mirror Herb is. Scroll all the way down where your Mirror Herb is. Give it to your female Hisuian Growlithe. And make sure you have the Pokemon that you want to pass down the egg moves to your Hisuian Growlithe. And the next thing you need to do is just do a picnic. Do a picnic, and I'll explain here later in a bit. Do a picnic, and you don't have to stay and wait for them to make an egg, because normally they can't produce eggs, at least now that I know of. I know for sure that the Espeon is definitely in its egg group. All you have to do is just leave right away. Let's see. Now keep in mind, always make sure the Mirror Herb is on Hisuian Growlithe, and make sure Hisuian Growlithe is female for this process, like I said. Now do your summary, and if you do this correctly, it should have the egg moves temporarily. Now, I have 3 out of the 4 egg moves on my Hisuian Growlithe. I'm gonna forget Ember, and I am gonna try and get Thrash on Hisuian Growlithe with Cubchoo. So all you have to do is just go to the picnic again, and I'll eventually get Thrash egg move onto Hisuian Growlithe. I'm gonna leave right away. Okay, do a summary. Now, as you can see, I have all 4 egg moves right here. Okay. Now, like I said, remember when I said it was temporary? Keep in mind, when I say it's temporary, let's say for whatever reason you wanna learn Flare Blitz as you're leveling a Hisuian Growlithe. You wanna learn Flare Blitz. You wanna forget a move. You wanna forget Double Edge or something. We forget it. Okay, keep that in mind. We forgot the move. And you try to, and then for whatever reason you want to relearn Double Edge again, and you try to remember moves, it's not in your remember moves anymore, because it was temporary and then it's not permanent. In order to do this, all you have to do is get either your Espeon or Sudowoodo that have Double Edge, do another picnic, and leave the picnic immediately. Okay, leave the picnic, and you should get the egg move again, which is Double Edge, which is right here. Okay, that's step number 4. At least I think it's step number 4. Okay, step number 5 correct me if I'm wrong on the different step, but step number 5, we are gonna try and get these egg moves permanent, okay? We're gonna get these egg moves permanent. All you really have to do is, okay, well, let's move the mirror herb here for now. You want to get these egg moves permanent, okay? All you have to do is equip an Everstone onto your Hisuian Growlithe. And hold on, let me do this. Let's get our Cantonian Growlithe for this. So all you have to do really is, you know, get your Cantonian Growlithe or a Ditto. But if you want to pass down the ability, like I said, I'm currently trying to get my hidden ability passed down from my Cantonian Growlithe to my Hisuian Growlithe. I want the Rockhead hidden ability on my Hisuian Growlithe, and I also want to pass down the Pokeball. Since my Cantonian Growlithe has the Luxury Ball, I want to make sure the eggs that hatch become Hisuian Growlithe with a Luxury Ball, and hopefully it can get the hidden ability and these egg moves that are temporarily on my Hisuian Growlithe. Once it produces eggs, when those eggs hatch, my Hisuian Growlithe will have all 4 of these egg moves permanently learned. So meaning, let's say if you forget any of these 4 moves, you forget them and replace them with new moves, you can always relearn them again. Okay, keep in mind, once you breed an egg move down, those egg moves will be there in your move slot permanently. Once you forget them, you can relearn them again. I hope that made sense. Okay, that was step number 5. Step number 6, we are gonna do the breeding process, okay? Hello, Lechonk. Excuse me while I produce a picnic. Okay, step number 6, all you have to do is just breed them down, set up your picnic, make a sandwich with the egg boosting power, and yeah, make a sandwich so that way your Pokemon start. I'm gonna do this. I can start producing a lot of eggs. I'm gonna be using egg power 2. So that's the only egg power 2. Easy sandwich to make. All I have to do is just put 3 banana slices on your sandwich for this egg power 2. Put that sandwich down, put the pick in, and there you go. Now let the breeding process commence. Alright, as you can see, we got other stats on, but we're gonna be focusing more on egg power 2. Alright, now that's step number 6, step number 7, actually we're still on step 6. So step 6 is we just have to just sit here and wait. All right, and we're back, and we left off with our Growlithe, my Cantonian Growlithe and our Hisuian female Growlithe produce a decent amount of eggs. As of let's see, I waited 6 to 7 minutes. And as I noticed, they produced 7 eggs. So they produced 7 eggs once I waited for 7 minutes. But I did a test. Since I used egg power 2 sandwich to help produce more eggs. I searched up on my phone while I was waiting for eggs to be produced. I looked up since there's 3 different levels of egg power. There's egg power 1, 2, and 3, and I looked it up. They said there's no specific time to how many eggs are being produced, but I've noticed that as soon as I decided to put a timer on my phone, set it for 10 minutes, and set up another picnic since I had 20 minutes left on my timer for that egg power 2 sandwich to produce. Usually the egg power sandwich will last for about 30 minutes. Since it was egg power 2 sandwich, I still had like 21 minutes left on there. I set a timer for 10 minutes, waited those 10 minutes until my alarm went off on my phone, and within those 10 minutes 10 eggs have been produced. So So I'm guessing you can wait till like 6 to 7 minutes for like 6 or 7 eggs to be produced. You can wait a whole 10 minutes, which I tested, and within those, so basically each minute you wait, you get an egg. So since I waited 10 minutes, within those 10 minutes, 10 eggs were produced, and 10 eggs were produced and were in the basket, which I counted. I can do it again, but I'll do it in a different video, not in this video. So now, I just wanted to let you guys know that I just tested it to see, because there's literally no set time of how many eggs are produced. Like I said, I tested it, waited 10 minutes, got 10 eggs produced. So I'm guessing each minute an egg is found in a basket. I'm not 100% sure, but I tested it and that's what happened. These are the results. 10 eggs within 10 minutes. I mean, it's up to you if you want to test it yourselves. Let me know in the comments, because I literally just waited 10 minutes and 10 eggs were produced. First batch of eggs, I waited 7 minutes, 7 eggs were produced. So you can go ahead and test it yourselves, but yeah, we'll be moving on to the next step. Okay, so during the whole breeding process, since our Growlithe and our Hisuian Growlithe were, you know, in the picnic producing eggs, as you can see, some of the eggs, all these will be Hisuian Growlithe, because it's always the female. Which every egg that hatches will always be a Hisuian Growlithe, because the female is the one who's gonna be passing down how the Pokemon looks. I hope I explained that correctly. No matter what Pokemon you breed, whatever the female is, whatever Pokemon the female is, that's what the eggs will hatch into, its pre-evolved form. For example, I have a female Growlithe and a Cantonian Growlithe. These two, when these two breed, or with the Ditto, they will always be producing Growlithes, or Hisuian Growlithes for that matter, since I produced, you know, my Hisuian Growlithe is the one, you know, passing down the genes on these eggs and stuff like that. Keep that in mind. It's always gonna be the female. It's always gonna, the eggs will always hatch into whatever the female is. So all these eggs will be hatching into Hisuian Growlithes. Alright, now that we got our eggs hatched, which I hatched the ones that have the luxury balls, as you can see, they all inherited adamant nature because both parents had the adamant nature. There'll be times, right now we're not too focused on the typing for its Terra type. Right now it's Terra type. Some of these have Terra type rock, some have Terra type fire. We're not going to be focused on that right now. We'll worry about that later. So let's see what the natures are. Flash fire, intimidate, and flash fire. Unfortunately, it did not inherit its hidden ability, so it looks like Hisuian Growlithe has 2 abilities, which is intimidate and flash fire. Unfortunately, our Hisuian Growlithe did not inherit Rockhead, which is his hidden ability. But I'll probably hatch these other eggs here eventually, but not in this video. I'll eventually hatch these eggs, but yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's gonna be all the time we have. Like I said, keep breeding these two. If you want to use these two as an example, you know, get yourselves a Cantonian Growlithe with its hidden ability and adamant nature. You know, use that as a parent, and then get the female Growlithe. You know, follow these steps, you know, step by step, the way I showed you. Follow these steps, and eventually you will get yourselves a Hisuian Growlithe with all 4 of these things. The Pokeball, the Pokeball does not have to be a luxury ball. I just want to put a luxury ball on my Hisuian Growlithe, because once it evolves into a Hisuian Arcanine, I feel like the luxury ball is perfect for its colors. I like to have my Pokemon caught in Pokeballs that match that Pokemon's color scheme. That's just how I am. I don't understand why people, you know, catch their Pokemon in quick balls, especially shiny Pokemon. a lot of other, you know, Pokemon YouTubers like to catch, you know, shiny Pokemon, let's say any shiny Pokemon with a quick ball just so they can easily catch it. No, I don't do that. Unfortunately, I like to have my Pokemon match, you know, have a matching Pokeball that matches their colors. That's just how I am. Let me know in the comments if you're exactly the way I am too. I like to have my Pokemon match the color scheme. That's just how I am. Yeah, don't know what else to say, but hope this video helped. I know I didn't get the ability, its hidden ability, but trust me, I've done this before, and all you have to do is just keep breeding and breeding. Like I said, keep breeding and breeding. If you get tired of breeding, just slap an ability patch onto your Hisuian Growlithe, and you can get your hidden ability quicker. But yeah, like I said, just keep breeding and breeding. Eventually, it'll be well worth it once you get your Hisuian Growlithe with its hidden ability Rockhead. I hope this video helped and you followed my steps, you know, all these steps that I did, you know, each and every single one, step by step. I hope I explained everything correctly. I hope that you guys understand and stuff like that. Keep in mind, I will be doing more breeding tutorials like this. Right now, I am going to be doing breeding tutorials for each and every Hisuian Pokemon that can be transferable to Scarlet and Violet through Pokemon Home, since Pokemon Home is now available as of, I think it was May 30th. I think it was May 30th. But yeah, I'll eventually be doing a breeding tutorial of every single regional variant. Right now, the first regional variants I'll be doing is all Hisuian Pokemon. Then I'll be moving on to Galarian Pokemon and Alolan Pokemon, and all the other regional variants that they are. Well, I hope this breeding guide helped you guys. So not sure what else to say, but hope this helped, you know, help you get your very own Hisuian Growlithe with all 4 of these things. Like I said, unfortunately I couldn't get the ability, but if I keep breeding and breeding, you know, if you keep breeding and breeding, you'll get one with its hidden ability. Trust me, I've done this a lot, and eventually over time you will get yourselves a hidden ability doing this method. Trust me, I've been breeding for hours on end. Not sure what else to say, but leave a comment, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, post them down in the comments. I'll be sure to answer those whenever I do have time. So yeah, but well, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, I'm gonna get off right now, so see ya.